Hello and welcome back to Sorta Strategy and a new series called Road to Regionals. So what Road to Regionals is going to be, to explain it pretty quick, is it's going to be a series where I go to locals on the run up to a regionals, changing and editing a deck I choose, and then attending the regionals with the deck and seeing how it does, basically. A different deck for every series, so this is series 1. I'll show the deck I'm going to pick for this in a minute. And yeah, will be fun. I'm actually looking forward to this quite a lot. I wanted to do this for a long time, but I didn't have the channel at first, and then also didn't have the time. But now I have time to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So before I start, I'm gonna basically just quickly talk about how I haven't played competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! In a couple of years now. So this will be good to see how easy it is to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! When I stopped playing like Paleos and like ABCs and maybe Blue Eyes were like the best decks. So that was a good while ago. That was after Cosmo or after Monarchs. I remember. It's hard to remember. Anyway, yeah. So I'm getting back into the game. So much so that I'm not even that sure what Sky Strikers fully do. I'd misplay against them. I kind of know what they do, but there's some... I wouldn't know what all their cards do off the top of my head. Same with Thunder Dragon. Same with even Salamangreat. Same with Altergeist. Same with whatever. Everything. Guru Control. All that stuff. But I will get on board and be fully competitive. Anyway. So, I'm going to reveal the deck to you now. So, the deck I've chosen. Boom, Infernoids. So, Infernoids, I've been playing them since the day they were announced. I was on DevPro trying to play, playing them or whatever. So, and then the day they came out in physical cards in the TCG, I was playing them straight away. I was playing these during Necro format, which means before they had Decatron, before they had Feast, before they had Imagination. They didn't even have Deviati. I was playing against Jinlock. I had like 9 outs to Jin. Fucking Rogeki, Dark Hole, Triple, Charge the Light Brigade, and Aaron of Lightsworn Aaron destroys a defense position monster. I was playing Book of Moon, I was playing all sorts of crap. It was really good. I actually qualified for Euros with this deck at the time. So yeah, anyway. Moving on from that, I picked this mainly because, first of all, it's my favorite deck of all time. Second of all, it's the first series, so I'd like to do this for the first series. And third of all, I think this is really good, this format. Anyway, so yeah, that'll be good. Reasons I have chosen this deck, well, the reasons why I think this deck is great is there's tons of different ways to play the deck, different versions of the deck, loads of different ways anyway, that I've seen anyway, there's tons. Since I've stopped playing as well, more have emerged. So, great going first or second. So first you can set up a ton of negates and all that kind of stuff. It's really good anti-meta in general. And then going second, you can have a load of board wipes and you have Void Imagination, which is your Shadow Fusion. So yeah, great stuff. Banish it from opponent's grave very easily. Great against this meta. Salamangreats, even Sky Strikers, it's decent against them. Can set up loads of negates. I've kind of covered that in the second point. Sorry about that. A lot of people don't know how the deck works, which is a huge advantage against someone who doesn't know how the deck works. Like that's just it's just a great bonus. Very versatile. There's a monster effect to get out of any situation in this deck, which is great. And then Decatron can be any of the monster effects. And links do not have levels. So links don't have levels is great because Infernoids have a clause to balance them where if there are more than 8 levels and ranks on your side of the field combined. So like if it was an Abyss Dweller, which is 4, and a Blue Eyes, which is 8 levels, you can't summon any Infernoids. But if you just had Blue Eyes, which is level 8, you can actually summon 1 Infernoid. So yeah, very important and to keep an eye on that and to play around it. But with links, they don't have levels or ranks, so they don't contribute to this, which helps with OTKs. And basically means you can use your extra deck a lot better. Like back in the day where I was saying I played in the Necro format, you're playing like normal synchros because normal monsters don't contribute to the levels and ranks. So yeah, I was playing like Scrap, Archfiend, and Gaia and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, that's that. So that's a load of stuff. On the point of people don't know how the deck works, 99% of the time I will be playing a non-meta deck. I don't mind playing a meta deck, I have no problem with that, but most of the time I will pick something different just because I think it's kind of more fun. I like to kind of play against the meta, and there's a point I want to make about this, is that I think that Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now is so diverse and just so healthy that there are so many competitive decks, including Infernoids. I just think that Infernoids aren't as represented as some of the decks you see topping every event. I feel like if there was an event where there was equal number Infernoids to say Sky Strikers, you'd be very surprised to see how many. I know that depends on matchups and stuff like that, but I feel like there's so many competitive decks right now that you can play. There's a load of choices. You don't have to pick one of the top 3 or 4. Or 5, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Enough of a rant there. Fuck, press the wrong key. Now, these are just some examples of the different versions of the deck that are floating around. There's more than this too, which I'll get to in a second. But anyway, Lair of Darkness is kind of the base version, the one you'll see the most often. I think it's pretty good. Then there's Burning Abyss Infernoids. They're basically level 3s, and they can make Dante and their Fiend and Dante Mills. So, yeah, that makes sense. Card of Demise even. People playing Card of Demise Infernoids is kind of a newer thing. It's pretty cool, but I'm not sure about it. In my opinion, I don't know. I wouldn't. Maybe I'll try it. So the point of this series, anyway, is that over the weeks, as I said already, I'll change my deck. I'll change my build and see how that goes. The other builds that I'm seeing are even like 60 card Infernoids, even though Grass is gone. I didn't even play during Grass, but yeah. Then there was also Subterra Infernoids, and then I'm seeing. What else? Evil Eye Infernoids even. So there's so many ways to try to play this deck. So yeah. Anyway, for my play though, I'm gonna go with Lair of Darkness, Lair Infernoid. So the reason I chose this, first of all, is because I'm just getting back into the game, and I think this is the quickest to learn. And I only have a few weeks to the regionals. I should have probably told you the date of the regionals I want to do first. So the date I want to do the regionals is the 5th of May, which gives me 4 weekends to change the deck, and which I think is a good enough amount of time, and learn the meta properly as well, which will be a bit more of a challenge, but that's okay. I've done 1 locals already, so I'll have 5, and I'll talk about that locals later. So Lair of Darkness, the bonuses I think with this deck are it adds extra control to the deck as well as extra out. So going second, playing Lair of Darkness, and then any Infernoid you contribute an opponent's monster, which is great. You outs anything basically, and then going first, obviously. Lair of Darkness plus Feast is just crazy. You have 2 negates on the board, which allow you to tribute an opponent's monster in order to do the negate. And you also have Sajet, which will tribute an opponent's monster to banish a card from the graveyard. So that's amazing. Arima adds extra consistency. Not only is he a terraforming, but also if you already have the Lair of Darkness, you can summon Arima and tribute an opponent's monster to draw a card. And in a deck like Infernoids, where you don't have much draw power, first of all, but also like a 1 draw could get you to 1 of your power cards, is pretty crazy, seeing as like Void Imagination and Void Feast are so strong. So yeah, not only that, but he works so well with Monster Reborn too. Just thought I'd point that out. All cards in the field becoming dark allows interesting text and plays. So the reason I point this out is because like people are playing Super Polymerization, which is probably the best example, in the main deck without having Lair of Darkness, which makes everything dark. And second of all, you know, it's first of all, everyone knows that Super Poly is a great card right now, but with Lair of Darkness making everything dark, you can make Starving Venom very easily, and then there are other targets like Violet Chimera and also Mud Dragon as well. So yeah, really strong. And then the last bonus, which is kind of just icing on the top, if tokens are left on your side of the field, they're free link materials. So every time you tribute an opponent's monster on your turn, you get a token. Every time you tribute an opponent's monster on their turn, they'll get a token at the end of the turn. Then when it comes back to your turn again, and if there are still some tokens alive, which happens actually more than you think, because of the fact that you're tributing and negating, and you're basically constantly interrupting their plays, it can be hard for them to actually get stuff going. So you do end up with extra tokens sometimes, and that'll end up giving you plenty of link fodder. Right, great. That's what I think anyway. I really like the Lair of Darkness build so far. From locals, it was really, really good. Yeah, I'll get to that, I think, now. Right, so round 1. I played against Shiranui Vendread, so yeah, not exactly a meta deck right now, but that's okay. It was pretty fun. I don't really know what Vendreads do. I knew what most of the Shiranuis did, but they got some new cards. So so game 1, it lasted like 30 minutes, which was pretty long. It was pretty one-sided game 1. I kind of set up a good few negates and stuff, and I think it was hard for him to get going, I think. But I did see one thing that I thought I'd mention. Gozuki. I thought Gozuki was pretty bad, pretty slow or something like that, but he was actually good. He used it quite well. Like, I don't know. I'll probably be... Some other people who have more experience with zombies would probably be like, man, I don't know about Gozuki, but I thought he was good. Then game 2, we were going into time. He didn't side out Solemns, so new time rules for me, by the way, are crazy. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but anyway. He sided in, or he had he activated a Solemn Warning and a Solemn Strike, which put him down life points already. Shiranui style slash or whatever, swallow slash, the one that's on the field there. I lava golemed away his monster so he couldn't tribute the zombie because we had no zombies. So that his third back row was useless, and then the lava golem I summoned, and I drew 2 lava golems with the second game, which was obviously bad. And then end of my turn, he burned for 1,000, and then came to my turn, and that was the last turn in time. Then I ended again because I actually couldn't play anyway to try and finish, but the lava golem burned him another 1,000. He was brought down to like 1-5 or 2-5 or something like that at the end. So that was pretty good. So I got 2-0 there. Win round 1. Round 2, I played against a young lad. In our locals, the way it works is the kids always play against each other in round 1 just because, you know, it's nicer, I think. And the kids also have their own separate little prize pool. It's smaller, but that's good. I'm happy with that. Like, I think it's a really good idea, and I'm really happy they do it. But I was playing against stuff like, as you can see, Child's Play, Burden of the Mighty, and Battle Fader, and basically, like, I was going to do the thing where I won game 1, I was going to let him win game 2 just because, you know, just to be nice, basically. But the only monsters I saw in his deck were triple Battle Fader and a Marshmallow. So, and he wasn't going to switch that Marshmallow on to attack mode, so it wasn't really anything I could do, so, yeah. Anyway, basically, a quick pass on round 2. Round 3, I played against Trickstars. Game 1, he went first and pretty much bricked. He had like a Call by the Grave, he had a Ash Blossom, and a Ghost Ogre. So, yeah, I don't know, I can't remember what the other 2 things were, but yeah, I pretty much trashed him game 1. Game 2, he went first, and to be honest, I lost pretty bad in game 2. I don't really feel like I did anything wrong, but they did burn me quite badly. I'm trying to think, is there any card in particular that they activated that was crippling? I don't know, not that I can think of. I also drew Sujet, which was not ideal. Then game 3, I went first, and I started with... I have some notes here, I'm going to check them. I started with... Oh yeah, okay, so game 3 I started with a Lair Darkness, Hermetic, what's it called? Twin Twisters, and Super Polymerization, and then another card. So I banished one to summon Hermetic, put down Lair Darkness, set Twin, set Super Poly, and like, it was basically like a guaranteed game. He activated Light Stage, I hit it straight away with Twin Twisters. Then, what else? What else? Yeah, then he summoned Candina and searched out Lycoris. Did he summon the Lycoris? I can't remember how it worked. I think I fusion summoned away my Hermetic and the Lycoris to summon Starving Venom, and he was kind of fucked then because I think I drew into... I basically ended up... His Candina couldn't do anything or something by itself. I ended up winning game 3 pretty convincingly. Anyway, so yeah. That was my round 3 against Trickstars. Pretty easy, I think, matchup. And then the last round, I actually lost game 1 against Altergeist. So Altergeist were very new to me. I didn't really know what any of these cards do. I knew Multifaker was the one you want to negate. Basically, that's kind of all I knew. Altergeist Protocol was pretty annoying for me. Game 1 anyway, basically, he set 5, summoned... Or, yeah, set 5 summoned 1 or something similar to that. I don't know these decks, by the way, too well. As I said earlier, I don't know the meta too well. So, yeah, this was all learning for me. But anyway, I feel like I know the game very well even after the match. I know the deck very well even after one match. So, yeah. Summoned something, set 4, came to my turn. I was like, oh yes, Twin Twisters, fucking yup. And then I activate Twin Twisters, and he activated, is it Royal? The one that negates all spell effects and you pay 700 every turn. That card was ridiculous. I had like 4 spells in my hand. I was like, this is a fucking amazing hand with the Twin Twisters as well. Great stuff. And then I had no outs to his Yoke. I think I had a Decatron as well, which would be an out to it as well. But then I summoned the Decatron, he had Silcatus, and like, it was bollocks. That was pretty tough, to be honest. Then game 2, I went first. Made a good board. I activated Feast. He played through the Feast pretty well. And then, what happened? Continued his turn, got Silcatus out. Came to my turn then. It was looking kind of 50-50. Like, I could probably power through, but they seem to generate advantage pretty nicely. Like, pretty steady rate. And Infernoids can kind of run out of gas pretty quick, you know what I mean? So then I basically top decked Denkoseka, summoned Denkoseka. That was basically game. And then game 3, it was like pretty good. I don't feel like I misplayed, but if I knew the deck, maybe I'd see that I did. If I knew the deck better, maybe I might, you know, play differently. But I think I played fine. But yeah, I basically round 4. Then I felt like it was a bad matchup for Infernoids in general. Obviously, I'm not gonna go make any excuses or whatever. Like, your man seemed to be a good player anyway. But yeah, that was my round 4. Lost to Altergeist 1-2. So yeah, I think I'll jump now to deck profile. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, so this is the build I played for locals there the weekend. It's very basic. I played quite a high Infernoid count. I know that before grass and some other things, I always played a pretty high Infernoid count anyway. Everything's pretty basic, so I played 2 Anunku, 2 Deviati, 1 Atondel, 2 Setsumis, 1 Sajet, 2 Petrulia, 2 Hermetic, 1 Antra, 3 Decatron, and then the 3 Arima, 3 Void Vanishment, Frozen Void I nearly called it, that's the OCG name, Void Imagination, 2 Layer Darkness. So I played 2 and 3 because the way I see it is drawing 2 Layer is bad, drawing 2 Arima is good, and also 1 of each is obviously good as well. So yeah, that makes sense to me. 3 Called by the Grave. This card was amazing. I used this once against a Mullaseek as well, and that was really strong. 2 Twin Twisters. I cited the 3rd. 1 for 1. Monster Gate, Reasoning, Monster Reborn, Super Polymerization, and 3 Void Feast. So on the main deck, I really like the main deck. I thought it was great. I think 2 Setsumis is good because I like when if if Decatron gets this negated, there's a level 8 synchro ready straight away. I played 2 level 8 synchros, Beals and Psyframe Lord Omega. So Omega's grand. I didn't really use him that much, but Beals was not good. I will immediately take him out. I'll get to that anyway in a minute. I didn't even summon him, but there was no need to run Beals. I kind of ran it for like Rogue, but yeah. Anyway. That's kind of it. The only other card I really don't like is Reasoning. Like, everyone plays Reasoning, but personally I feel like Reasoning just... I always mill like 3 cards and then hit something, and then it's kind of just bad. I don't know. I don't think it's that good anyway. I'm not sure. I played the 1 Tierra. I think 1 is perfect. I played 2 Entis. So I cut this down to 2 just because I was like, oh, you don't really need 3, but you definitely do. Why? Because I kind of... In building the deck, like, because I was building this kind of quick, right? In building the deck, I was kind of like, yeah, you don't need 3, and then I remembered in the middle of the game, oh yeah, fuck, you need to pop your own Tierra. So yeah, Beals, bye-bye, and Entis back in, save. That's 1 change. Starving Venom, amazing. Mud Dragon, I can't really see myself making this, really, ever. 2 monsters with the same attribute, but different types. Like, that will probably never come up against Salamangreats, it seems like. And against... Yeah, I'll have to think about it more. I don't think this will ever come up, though. Especially with Lair of Darkness. Without Lair of Darkness, I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. Omega is really good. A target off Tierra if you don't need 3 Entis. And then also to make him as well. Making him is good. He's good for putting banished stuff back in the grave, etc. Borrowload. Borrowload was... Like, I never met him, but I like to kind of just have him. Decode is just a good Link 3. I thought he was good, I guess, as well. Hisa was strong. I used her once, I'm pretty sure. I think it was against Shiranui to summon out the Solitaire. And then I made a decode, and I think that's how I finished game 1. Apprentice Witchling is basically... Or not Apprentice Witching, whatever you call it. Wee Witch. That's basically for when Lair of Darkness makes everything on the field dark. This is for when Lair of Darkness is not on the field. Underclock Taker, people don't play this really anymore because a lot of people cut a Tondel for the OTK, but I actually used that today, or not today, the weekend there as well. I don't know if you need to play this while you also have Doolittle, but I don't know, I liked it. I'll have to think about it more. Yeah, if I was to make space, I'd cut probably one of these and it would probably be Underclock. Link Karibo, I really like Link Karibo. I use it when basically Decatron gets negated. It's pretty good. He does get negated fairly often. And then Abyss Dweller I played as my rank 4. I would like to play Baguska as well, but I don't know if I have the space. Mud Dragon or Underclock Taker can come out. Hisa, I kind of want to play a rank 4, or not rank 4, a Link 4 that can basically be made with 2 or more effect monsters, because Hisa could summon out Phoenix or Sunlight Wolf or whatever, and then immediately link away to make a link 4. But Barload can't be made with that, so yeah, I'd have to think about that. Yeah, so the only things I'm thinking of adding are basically a bazooka, and maybe a new link 4. I was thinking maybe, what's it called? Summoner, whatever she's called. What is she called? Witch? I don't know. The link 3 that summons one from the deck, the one that's quite strong. I don't think it's very good in this though. I don't think I need it. Side deck. 3 Denkoseka was amazing. I would always play this in this deck. The normal summon's not that important in this deck, so yeah, Denkoseka is just fucking strong as shit. Effect Veiler, I sided in against. I sided this in against Altergeist and against what you call them, Trickstars, and then I sided this in against Trickstars because of Candina, and I also sided in Shared Rides and a Twin Twister, and then the Twin Twister I also put in against Altergeist. I put this in. I didn't play this at all today, or I keep saying today, the last day, and then Lava Golem was really, really good. But I did draw 2 against, I played it against Multi-Faker deck, whatever you fucking call them, Altergeist, and then I also played it against Shiranui zombie thingies. So yeah, I think out of my side, I think I keep this in because it's good going first against Sky Strikers, and obviously Rogue, and then this is just good against back row decks. This is great against back row decks. Effect Veilers I'm thinking about, and Shared Ride I'm thinking about. I started this in against Trickstars because Light Stage and Candina, but I don't know, I'm not sure. Draw power is nice in Infernoids too, so I'm not sure about it. And yeah, that's the deck. I'll probably come back to you next week with more changes and the next episode. I hope you enjoyed. This is something new. I'll probably, the next episode will be shorter than this because I'll have less to cover, less explaining to do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you liked this idea, and that's that, I think. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you liked, drop a like. If you want to see the next episode or anything else I do, not everything I do is Yu-Gi-Oh, by the way. Subscribe, I suppose. So yeah, again, thanks for watching, and bye bye.